In today's video, I'm going to be hosted as a WWE trading card vendor for the very first time, and we're going to break it down on the logistics side and see, did we make money? Did we lose money? Was it really worth it? Let's go ahead and find out. Now, like I mentioned, this is the first time ever that I am going to be posted up as a trading card vendor, so I really don't know what to expect, and it's a fairly new group that's hosting these events. Primarily in my local area, we see a lot of sports, TCGs like Pokemon, One Piece, that we see primarily from vendors. So I think I'm going to be the only WWE vendor there, especially when I go to card shows. It's usually myself or other vendors. There's only like one or two other vendors, and those vendors typically only do the bigger show. So it's a smaller show. It's more likely just going to be me. So I really don't know what to expect as far as of turnout, what the crowd's going to look like, what the venue is going to look like. I've never even been to this venue before, so it's going to be all very new for me. All right. I am back for the show. I apologize for the lack of footage. I know we had a couple of clips here, maybe like totaling out to like a minute or two. There was just a lot going on. Nerves kind of kicked in a little bit. Yeah, and again, I was just worried about different things here. But let's talk about the show. Overall, show was a very great success. We are in the positives, which is always good. You never want to lose money when you're trying to make money selling low to mid end sports cards, especially WWE trading cards here. So we are on the green, so that is very much a positive. And I think another positive here that came away from the show itself is that there were the crowd was pretty busy. It was pretty busy throughout the whole show. But we actually had people stopping by the table, talking wrestling. Even if it was people who like haven't watched wrestling in like so long. Like a couple of people bought like a couple of base cards of like Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Roman Reigns, guys like that. Which is what kind of what I was thinking was going to happen. And then we did sell quite a bit of cards from the showcase. You kind of saw towards the end. The showcase was kind of picked through, which again is a very good sign. Shows me that there are people in my local area that are looking to either collect, buy, sell, or trade wrestling cards. So that motivates me a little bit more to potentially want to do these shows moving forward. Now I know I said I was going to give you all the behind the scenes as far as of how much it really made. And that's what I'm going to do here. Again, full transparency. That's what I want to bring to the channel. Kind of give you a true idea of what being a trading card vendor looks like, especially with something so small and so niche as wrestling cards. Because we're not selling football cards, we're not selling baseball, basketball cards, or anything like that, or Pokemon cards or One Piece cards. Like, we're selling something that's very niche, that being wrestling. So I'm gonna take you all through logistics as far as of everything here. So as far as of table costs, table was $35, which is why I went into this show. Um, a lot of the bigger shows that are had in my local area, typically these tables can run from anywhere from like $95 to $100, and that to me is rough to make your money on, especially like if you're like someone like myself who's selling primarily low to mid end wrestling cards. Of course, if you have higher end cards like the vendors that typically do my shows, you're gonna make your money back pretty easy. So for $35, that's what the cost was for about a 5 to 6 feet space, which I thought was pretty ideal for me, and the space worked out pretty well for me as well. As far as of paying for other things here like a table, chairs, it was kind of like in a bar area, so there's actually like a booth behind us, so we actually didn't need to use the chairs that I borrowed from my parents. Table as well, borrowed from my parents, so did not pay for that. The showcase that we used was actually the showcase that you see behind me. Didn't want to fork out another like $50 for another showcase if I was only going to do this one time and be stuck with two showcases. So we didn't fork out any money for that. Business cards, we already had that, so I'm not going to put that towards the expense there. So in reality, the only thing that we paid for was for the actual physical space itself, which was $35. So all in all sales total, and if you see me looking down on my phone, it's just because I tried writing down every sale. I think I may have forgotten like one or two that were a couple of base cards. If you guys have like are do vending primarily, you guys have to sound on the comments down below how you guys like actually track your sale. Like, are you tracking every sale? Or are you just counting the money that you walked in with when you go home, or what's on your Cash App or PayPal accounts? You guys have to let me know that, because that's probably like the one thing I kind of struggled with. But primarily, everybody gave me cash and a couple of Cash App transactions. So all in all, in the end, all total sales, we sold $216 worth of wrestling cards, which again may be a small number to some of you. When you deal with, again, primarily low to mid end wrestling cards, that is quite a bit for me. And again, it's definitely greater than $35. So mine is at $35 for the space. We were $181 as far as a positive. Again, just with the space itself. Now, I know people are going to be, well, how long was the show? The show is from 10 to 2. So if you guys want to, I typically don't work like that. But I mean, if you want to do hourly, whatever, 4 hours, that's $45 an hour. So I know some people have been talking about that on other social platforms. So if you want to talk about that, that's where we're at. When it comes to hourly. As far as the cards that we were using, so all the cards that we use for, we were already in the net positive. So I, buy lots primarily on either like eBay, or some people will message me saying, hey, you want to buy these cards. I already made my money back on all the lots here that we were using to sell at the show. So again, we're already in the positive, so I'm not going to be including that. So again, $45 was per hourly if you want to do that here, and $181 there in the profits as far as of just paying for the actual physical space for itself. Was it worth it? You guys will have to let me know. In my eyes, I definitely think it was. Again, I think one of the more important aspects of this is just getting my name out there a little bit more. That's one thing I think I know from like a self-reflection I do kind of struggle with a little bit. It's easy just to like post videos and that's it, but like actually going out to my local area, talking to people, communicating with people, again, getting my content out there in my local area, I think that's very important for me. And was something that's a personal goal set for myself for 2026. So very proud that I did that here. Also want to give a special thanks to my wife, who actually helped me set up for the show. I was trying to get footage of that, but again, we kind of got there kind of late, and we're just kind of, I don't want to say scrambling, kind of rushing to get set up before the doors officially open. So my wife did help me set up and sat with me throughout the entire show. So I did have some company. So when it was kind of died down, just by myself, she was there with me. So huge shout out to Mrs. Moon there. So I definitely do thank her for also supporting me as well for doing all this. But yeah, again, that's what the show was. A lot of fun. If you guys want to see like actual POV like vendor, because there is another show on March 7th, which I probably am going to do. If you guys actually want to see like a POV of that, like behind the scenes of sales, having the camera run, throughout the whole show, or maybe not throughout the whole show, but for the majority part of the show, make sure you do leave a like, comment down below if you do guys want to see that, and make sure you are subscribing to the channel, because it does tell me that you want to see that video moving forward. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're like at 950 subscribers now, which is insane to me. So again, I do thank you guys so much for all the support. And if you guys went to the card show, I know I had a couple of followers from the socials come to the show. So if you came to the show, thank you very much. And again, if you guys are buying like on my eBay or whatnot pages, again, I thank you very, very much. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be the video. Again, make sure you do like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.